Boyfriend, 28, never offers to pay for drinks. Is it too much to expect my boyfriend to offer to buy me a drink when we go out? We both have jobs and are in our late 20s. Whenever we go to a bar, I'm often the one asking him what he wants to drink and paying for both of us. He is always so slow ask or offer, if he does at all. We went out with another couple this weekend and noticed that every bar we went to, our friend always offered to buy his girlfriend a drink and went to the bar, waited, paid. I'm not asking him to pay each time, but it would be nice to be asked. Obviously, I'd turn him down, get the drinks myself some if not most of the time. Am I being too demanding or cheap as a girlfriend? Edit. Thanks so much everyone. I did talk to him about this yesterday and he apologized. He said he never realized I was picking up the tab most of the time, and thought it was 50-50 but he'd be better about it in the future. This is an ick of mine. I'm all for 50-50-is. But when it's not fairly reciprocated, it's an ick. Just buy your own. See if he reacts. Also, this doesn't get any better. I had an ex who was the same. It's actually embarrassing in the long run. No such thing as treats or surprises, just tit for tat. Hey L bought last round. It's your round now. I'll have a people I barely talk to have paid for my drinks grimace. More like he's cheap as a boyfriend and taking advantage of you. Stop paying for his drinks. I regret of getting married too soon. I get married at the age of 22 and my husband was 30. My husband is very insecure. He even made me close my Facebook account because there are some males in my friend list. And a big problem just happened yesterday. So I took my kid, 6Y. To a lunch after school, and his friend, with his dad, like to join our table, so what am I supposed to say? No? That's gonna sound so rude. So I let my kid's friend and his dad to join our table and we just eat really. And hell break loose after my husband asked my kid about his day and he told him about this. We argue for about 3 hours and all he asked was why did I do it? Like I don't know what to say, I don't have any specific reason for that. And now he took my son with him to stay at his parents' house since yesterday. I cannot deal with him anymore. Is it better to get a divorce? I need advice since I no longer have both of my parents around to ask for advices. Get a divorce now, it's only going to get harder the longer you wait. So he's bordering on emotionally abusive and definitely is isolating you from the other gender. What you want to do about this is up to you. You don't have to play by his life rules for you. Divorce is what I suggest. Men like this don't get better, they get worse. Your husband isn't insecure, he's controlling. That's why he married a 22-year-old at the age of 30 because he figured it would be easier to control you. Not always, but usually, that's why people start relationships with people much younger than themselves. Yes, I would recommend divorce. Like 90% of the posts in this sub are of people with major age differences and it's almost always a predatory male. Come on. There is a reason most of these males are preying on yous and are weirdos. They've been ostracized from their own age range. Duh. Come on folks. Get out now. Your future self will thank you. Just moved in together and the toilet seat is damn near separating us. Okay, so me, 22 female, and my boyfriend, 26 male, have just moved in together about 3 months ago. I'm a super laid-back person and I do most of the cooking, cleaning, grocery shopping, laundry, walking the dogs, paying the bills, making his lunch. He does work pretty long hours, so I don't mind being the one that keeps the house in shape and making food for himself, and I actually enjoy it. I never ask for much when it comes to things like that. The only thing I really ask for is for the toilet seat to be put down. Lol. The only man I grew up with was my father and he always put the seat down, so having to suddenly constantly put it down is something that bothers me. I think touching it is so yucky. I've said numerous times, before we were even moved in TG when we lived at my parents', to put the seat down for the sake of me and my mom. He usually just says, oops sorry, and will for the most part go put it down for me. But lately it's been extreme since moving in, it's up nearly every time he goes. I've mentioned it numerous times to PLS put it down as I don't like touching the seat. He immediately gets defensive and angry that I even bring it up. He tells me, well, my 3 sisters never had a problem with it, so you shouldn't either, or, maybe if you asked me nicely I would put it down, and I'm always nice about it. There might be a slight tone of annoyance in my voice, but after asking for something pretty basic for like the 2 years we've been together, it does get annoying after a while. I finally had enough and decided to sit down and talk with him, and it was awful and ended up with me crying alone in the bedroom. He ultimately made it about him saying I do stuff that pisses him off and he just keeps his mouth shut, implying I should do the same. He attacked me for one time the dirty dishes being in the sink and not being done when he got home. Saying I do nothing while he's at work. I work from home and run my own business so I don't sit on my ass all day. I don't understand why he won't listen to me and acknowledge that this little thing bothers me so much. I try so hard to be kind about it but all he says is that I'm so nasty to him about it. After the fight was over he went to use the bathroom and he actually went number 2 and he purposefully put the seat back up just to be petty. I feel like I am so unable to bring things up to him whether it's a toilet seat issue or even something bigger like hurt feelings, bad days, concerns I have. He's always so defensive about anything and everything I bring up. And usually turns it into something about him. What am I doing wrong? The toilet seat issue is stupid and honestly a non-issue. But him getting mad at you and saying, "You do nothing," is a massive red flag and what you should be focusing on. Well, based on what I have read, I would have put the toilet down each time with my teeth, to give you the respect you deserve. But then again, I am not the kind of man to let you do all the chores around the house. Maybe it's time for you to stop being his mother and ask him to do his share. After refusal, kick him out of the house. It's not about the toilet, it's about his attitude. I never thought much about it as a kid. If it was down, I've put it up to pee. I imagine, whoever needed it down, put it down. When I moved on my own, for some reason, in time I was putting both down, sitting and cover part. Still doing it. And today, there are slow closing toilets, so you just push it a little and it closes on its own. My stepbrother, 12, is really bothering me, 20, f. My dad got married after dating a woman for less than a year. She is really sweet and I enjoy her company but her child drives me insane. And #X200B. I have been living with my stepbrother for almost 6 months and it has been a nightmare. He was never introduced to chores or anything that involves leaving his bedroom until he came here. And #X200B. We have had a chore chart since they moved in so I wasn't the only one doing chores around the house anymore. My little brother was also involved with this. My stepbrother doesn't do his chores. A few months ago he got stuck doing the dishes for 2 weeks because my little brother and I were doing everything. Months later he is still not doing anything. He still has no clue how to load the dishwasher, despite having the 2 weeks in a row of having to put them in there and all summer that the chart has changed to him having to do it. So his mom basically does it for him. And #X200B. My little brother and I have both caught him cleaning the bathroom with toilet paper and water. It takes him not even 5 minutes to vacuum the whole house. It normally takes me long enough to at least get headphones and listen to music while I am doing it. And like I said, he makes his mom put the dishes in the dishwasher because he doesn't know where they go. Still. And #X200B. What sealed the deal for me was something that happened a few days ago. I was taking a nap and a very bad smell woke me up. My bedroom door was shut and one of my cats was sleeping on my bed. I assumed she farted but the smell lingered and I knew it wasn't her. So I went downstairs and saw that the dog had left massive diarrhea on the floor. And #X200B. I also noticed that my stepbrother wasn't outside waiting on his mom to get home like he does every single day. His bedroom is right next to mine so there is no way that he didn't smell it either. And #X200B. I literally had to step outside for a bit because of the smell. After a while I decided to clean it up and took the trash out. When my stepmom got home, she had to open up windows because it was still so bad. My stepbrother came downstairs and commented on the smell in which my stepmom responded back with, "Did you help her?" Complete silence. And #X200B. I found out that my stepbrother called his mom 30 minutes before I found it and told her about the diarrhea and just left it on the floor. I am beyond mad about this. No one even thanked me or apologized for this. And #X200B. How do I go about this? It is frustrating having to live with someone like this. Even my little brother, that is younger than him, does a better job and doesn't rely on others to do his chores for him. And #X200B. Too long did not read. My stepbrother is lazy and cannot do simple tasks that involve him to leave his room or do any type of work. It is extremely frustrating. How do I go about this? And #X200B. Edit. I might want to also add this to kind of give you a basic picture of this kid. He had the audacity to ask me why I wasn't going to his family's Easter cookout this year as I was pulling my laptop out to work on a paper. Yeah, I was on Easter break, but I still have assignments to do because I am in college. I explained that to him and he was upset that his mom still made him go. There was also one time I was going to get food for myself and my dad told me not to bring it back home and to eat it somewhere else. Come to find out, my stepbrother was upset that I have been buying myself food and his mom wouldn't do the same for him and he got stuck eating whatever was at home. I have had to explain to him numerous times that I am 20 years old. I am not forced to go anywhere. I have a car. I have my own money. You are 12. You being annoyed with him is totally valid. Unfortunately, I don't think there is much you should do beyond keeping your sights on moving out and having a place of your own, in which case you may be grateful as this is practice for roommates and future partners. You should talk to your dad about your experience, but I want you to keep in mind the following. This kid is going through it right now. In the midst of puberty. Moving in with a bunch of strangers that are supposed to be his new family. Middle school. Try to show the kid all the love and compassion. Then when he goes to bed, call up a good friend and vent about dog diarrhea. Because you deserve to have some feelings about that too. Get into the house router and turn the internet off for all his devices. Tell him you will troubleshoot his connection issues while he does his chores.